Record. Hello, folks. Here we are, another Saturday Night Live Zoom. Saturday, June 26th, I believe, in 2019, with our wonderful fictitious calendar time. So, in the MFS realm, so much is happening all the time. And it's wonderful to be part of this journey with everybody. It's just never ceases to amaze me, never ceases to bring forth challenges in every way, shape, and form. The universe is always challenging us,
teaching
and teaching us, and so we can learn and grow. And the one thing I do know is I love to eat, but I love to fast more. You know, no matter how much, we were just talking very briefly, no matter how much we love to eat, all the wonderful associations with the social gatherings through our memory and so on and so forth, it still doesn't compare to the taste of nectar of God, I like to call it. Once you've done long fasts, several of them, you will understand what the nectar of God tastes like. It's very sweet. It comes through the roof of the mouth. And it's a wonderful, wonderful experience once you get to taste that. And how do we get to that state? Make fasting part of your lifestyle. MFS keeps it simple, structured. We know what to do. We have tools to help pull us through difficult situations. It's safe, it's effective, and it's a lifestyle. It's a fasting lifestyle. And when we choose to eat, we don't beat ourselves up and this, that, and the other thing, because we're always in that fasting state mentality, even when we're eating. Okay, I'm enjoying myself now, but I got to get on track. You know, it's okay, but I'm going to get on track and focus on that. And this is the wonderful thing.
Yeah, it's nice because you know you're eating when you are not hungry, but there's like some kind of maybe fear, some challenge that maybe we don't know how to process and face. And so we go to the food. Very important for us to be conscious and know, okay, I'm not feeling very well, and so I'm going to eat. So be conscious that you're doing it for that reason. Not because you are hungry. Definitely, I mean, be clear that you're not hungry, definitely attached to the food, but we don't need it. We don't need it.
Yeah. I remembered what I was thinking of. I don't know if you've ever seen how they train elephants from when they're babies. They put a chain on the leg, and you know the elephant will keep trying and trying and trying and trying to break free, but the chain is way too strong and it's anchored very well. And then comes one day where the elephant gives up. It completely gives up, and it will never, ever, ever try again. No matter how big that elephant gets, they can put a string on the leg, and it will never try again to break free from what they can just do with a single swoop. Huge, massive animal, because their belief system is so strong that they believe that it's impossible for them to break free, because they've tried so long until they reach that breaking state where they says, forget it, it's impossible. And they gave up. So I was just thinking about some other stuff that we all grew up on. And for example, when we were kids, you know, we'd cross our eyes and our parents would say, don't do that. Your eyes are going to be destroyed. You're going to stay like that. So, you know, doing eye exercises one day, because crossing the eyes is one of the best things you do. That thought came through my head as a belief system. Maybe this is not good for your eyes, because it's so ingrained in the programming. No matter how much we know better now, these programs are so powerful, and I'm sure every single one of us has something they can relate to what I've just described, with the elephant or the cross-eyed or something else. which we grew up on, and we're going through these fasts, and that program is running, and it's a belief system, and sometimes it makes us quit the fast or whatever because the belief system's so strong it overcomes what our inherent design is made to do: fast, to heal, to clean up. So we're all dealing with these things at all different levels, and you know, we can break free. We just have to change the belief system.
It takes time,
Yeah,
practice.
yeah. Just practice.
Persistence,
and
patience.
Enemas are going to make your bowels weak. Never seen that happen.
Yeah,
never.
Usually, yeah.
And
You
I
only
hear
hear it from people who don't know about it.
I've heard it over and over and over and over. Maybe if you're doing coffee enemas because it's a strong stimulant, and you're what's the word? Innervating the nerve system in the colon walls, and weakening at that state because you're beating it up through stimulating. That's what stimulants do. And as we've talked about, all foods are stimulants. Name any food, stimulant, 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 stimulant. And that's why we drew out that Master Fast Spiral to hopefully bring some new understanding to people that doesn't matter the food. It's just a different level of obstruction and of stimulant. So as you're moving outwards, it's a stronger obstruction and stronger stimulant. And the same is true when you go opposite, right? It's a weaker stimulant and weaker obstruction. So fruit being the least obstructive and the least stimulant, but it still is. Isn't that amazing? It still is, because it's a three-dimensional source that we're putting through us, and it acts as a stimulant. People living on flesh and the strong stimulants and stuff like that, and they're, if it's big and strong and whatever, yeah, you can do it for so long, and some will be able to do it longer than others because of strong genetics and so on and so forth. But it's all going to catch up to you sooner or later. It always does. So these are all choices that we make, and I'm not saying that telling anybody what they need to do, what they have to do, but if you want to allow the body to find balance and heal itself, we know what to do. We have no doubt anymore. We know exactly what to do. I have absolutely no doubt anybody can reverse, regenerate, no matter what state they're at. I don't care what state they're at. We've seen the worst of the worst. Marin is a beautiful example. The worst of the worst butchery, 4 types of cancers, they called it, whatever they want to name it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. He's in his 3rd year, full MFS. So whatever we've been taught, whatever people feed us, best thing is to not judge it or anything, but go within and allow the answers to come, because they're in plain sight.
Yeah, face it. There is, it's okay. Welcome the fear, thank the fear, because it is here to teach us. If we didn't have it, we would just be perfect, right? But we are here to learn. And so when we're afraid, it's an opportunity to learn. So face the fears, and even if it means that you're gonna eat, it's okay, eat. You can say to yourself, you know what, I feel challenged. I feel very challenged. I feel kind of weak, and I will just go backwards a little bit and eat and enjoy my food. Or maybe, I'm like, you can only enjoy so much. I mean, knowing food, I understand. And from my experience, I can only enjoy it so much. And then after that, there is like pain, right? And there is addiction. So I think it's just a lesson that we, maybe I wanted to learn. And my body wasn't ready to transform too fast. So just a little bit of backward step, and then back. Right now I'm back on the fast, and I feel amazing. I feel like I haven't broken it. But I'm sure I will feel better and better in the next few days. Tomorrow I'm eating again, but I'm eating my own food, fruits and vegetables. I'm eating raw tomorrow. So that's definitely much cleaner than, buying even from a raw vegan restaurant food or anything like that, which I have had in the past days. It didn't feel great compared to my food. Even my own food, which is fruits and vegetables, made me tired. So you can imagine restaurant food with some salt and oil. It is definitely not the way to go. But it's a learning experience and back on track. And this is the Master Fast lifestyle. It's a learning experience.
All these years, I've never lost my enthusiasm for fasting. It only gets stronger and stronger and stronger. And especially when you start seeing so many people take charge of their health and completely change their life when they start living this type of lifestyle. It's just awesome and invigorating, and we get inspired all the time from everybody, being on the fast. We have Mark and we have somebody on the phone, 4920. Hello, guys. Thanks for joining. And all the energies of everybody, supporting and inspiring each other is so important. And this is one of the big keys that a lot of people miss. And you can see it in their experience, because they'll get to a certain point and they're not going to go any further because they're not allowing themselves to be at that point of giving and sharing to inspire, which is a huge thing. It doesn't seem like it, but once you understand how plasma works, in order to open it up, you need to give first. Creation gives continuously, and it gets stronger, and it keeps growing and growing. It gets stronger and stronger through the art of giving, the art of subtraction. So this is a very, very important thing that I see a lot of people missing, and that's okay. That's their journey. I'm not here to judge, but we've seen what happens when people start sharing and stay connected and continue inspiring others. There's just no comparison in the journeys. There's none, because it's continuously expanding and strengthening themselves in every shape or form. The emotion, which is so powerful, as we've talked about, with the programming. These are emotions. This belief system, they're emotions, and they're ingrained so deep, so deep. I wish there was an easier way, but fasting is the way. It'll allow you to see. It'll allow you to see the answers in plain sight. It really, really it becomes a revelation every time you fast. You get new revelations every time, every fast, and it's just awesome to allow that experience to happen and move forth. But Ranjit, you're always sharing, participating, and
I'll talk anytime.
Yeah, it's awesome because you can see the enthusiasm when you're sharing.
Yeah, you're very connected, which is amazing, which is good for you and good for other people as well. It's really nice to be connected, and I'm sure you know that, right? Like you feel it when you feel people. It's so beautiful. I mean, the other day, Paul Oliver, right? He shared his a post. It's just his experience, but it was shared in a very beautiful way. And my goodness, many people connected, and many people loved it and enjoyed it. And he got all beautiful comments, and it's just so nice to see. I'm sure he got a lot of energy from that.
He came here, when was it, a few months back?
Yeah, yeah.
He spent the day with me. And
He came for me as well for colonic, and he's such an amazing, amazing person. I didn't know he's 21 until I read the post. You know, he mentioned 21. He's a wise guy. Yeah, he's learning a lot. Good for him.
Yeah, we had some fun. I was a little busy that day, but with my mother.
Yeah. He made a whole
But,
video about the tea.
Yeah,
I love talking about this. I love talking about the spiritual side
yeah.
because I'm in feasting stage at the moment, which is
Right.
6 weeks, I think. And I don't mind. I don't know. I don't know if it's a like or not like. It's a remembrance. It's remembering, you know, when you eat and what happens, but it's so slow the way it happens. It's not unconscious. It's conscious eating. And you remember things like how you were saying before, Gino, about, you know, the struggle with your mum and everything. And I think sometimes when you in MFS realm, you're in another place and it's so beautiful and bliss and just wonderful when you've broken through your monkey mind and you're in this place. But when you're eating, it brings you more back down to the human connect. Well, the people, 89, 90% of them, and connecting to them and going through you are attached to their emotions in some way because you feel it more. So the triggers seem to be stronger. And but I've actually had revelation or realizations even while I'm feasting, which I didn't expect to have.
Yeah, well,
And
because you're in the stages of still breaking the fast. There's lots going on.
Yeah, and you
There's
fast
lots.
too, you dry fast as well, and you have other master fast days in the middle.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, but you know, the one thing I love the most is because when you've done a long MFS fast, it's already imprinted within you that you know that you can just go back to an MFS day. You know you can do a dry fast.
You know,
You already know.
Yeah.
The system that you and Rana, who you both surrendered to the creation for humanity, for us, is truth. Because when you step into that truth, compared to any other whatever scientific bullshit fasts that are out there, even though they mean well, but and maybe get you to this place, a path could get you to here, like it did with me. There's a difference, and it's so strong because this is coming from creation, and that's where you tap in. And there's another thing that you reminded me of, Gino, is when you go back to your blueprint and all these things about change, transformation, metamorphosis. I actually don't believe in it. I know it's happening, but I actually fully don't believe in it because what it is, you're already that. You're already the blueprint.
Remembering.
So all you're doing, like what you've said, is just stripping away all the layers, just stripping the programs and paradigms, you know, whatever connection like you have with your parents. I've got the same sort of thing with my parents at the moment. So all that's just all stripping away. It's a good thing. It's really a good thing. Embrace the suffering because it's worth it, because you're just stripping away the layers. It's bringing it up to attention and for intention to do something. That's how I kind of think now, a little bit. But,
yeah, you're on track there. It's you know, these obstructions are just, how do we put it? They're basically keeping things, energy in stagnant form. So it can't work. It's what it's supposed to do. That's what these obstructions are doing. So it's not flowing, and we call it this, that, and the other thing, and deficiencies, and blah, 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 whatever. Once we start removing the obstructions, that energy starts flowing, and it's an autopilot from soul. It's just a remembering. It's for the physical body. It's just a remembering. It's already programmed, as you said. It's already there. So there's no intellect we need, no thinking, no nothing. It's automatic, and that's the beauty. But the problem is the damn program that we've been programmed here in this realm. It's always in the way, that monkey mind or whatever you want to call it.
Part of the journey.
Yeah, it was part of the journey, but we can laugh at it when we see the clarity of what it really is now. You know, all these things, what I'm seeing out there and all the different fasts, they're all focusing on deficiencies and this and you need that. And I'm going, I've been there. It doesn't lead you to anywhere except spiral out to more confusion. This is my experience. Like I don't have all the answers, but from my experience, that's what it did for me. And I kept getting further and further away every time I dug more into those realms. And then when the light came on and bang, you know, gotta go within, gotta go within, let this stuff all go. And more of the answers started coming, and more magic started happening, and it just goes on from there. And each fast, once I was privileged to gain that understanding of what V equals P take away O really means. Wow, we've been fed a lot of crap. And it's all part of the journey. I'm not putting anybody down and no belittling anybody. I've been there. I was in that trap for years.
You know,
Believing this stuff. And it's just the clarity of art of subtraction. The art, V equals P take away O, is the art of subtraction. It is remembering soul essence, the information that comes through in autopilot. Don't have to worry about it. Don't have to do anything. Just stop eating. Stop eating and assist the challenging times. That's all we're doing. We're doing it wisely because we're in such a toxic state in this time of age in this realm. And it's not an easy thing, but the road is simple. We're just gonna have to drive around some of the obstacles, and when it's wide open, put it to the floor, and then the corner starts coming up, slow down, take the corner. This is fasting. Think of it like that, like a race car driver. We're not racing, but
I mean, yeah, it's at the end of the day, it's within. You know, we are our biggest obstacle, right?
yeah, and the more 3D we do, the more 3D we experience, the slower things happen. The more fasting, the faster things happen, is what my experience is. And that's amazing. So is there a limit to the speed? I don't think so. That's why I say we haven't seen anything yet in these 3.5 years. Let's watch what happens in the next 5-10 years of people living this lifestyle. We're going to see things happen instantaneously. That's my belief system. Because we're gonna start remembering more and more as a unit, as a whole, and that empowers and builds that field strength much more. So things will happen quicker and quicker and quicker. So enjoy your every moment, no matter whether you're choosing to eat, whether you're choosing to fast. But if you're living the MFS lifestyle, less is more. If you're living it, you're actually living it. It doesn't matter if you're in that eating state or if you're in a fast, because you're living it. You're just choosing that time right now to eat and whatever. And
consciously, do it consciously.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to be an addict. You want to be conscious about what you're doing. So you know you are challenged, and you know it's okay to use food to assist you, because that was your belief system. So just to go back, it's backwards for sure.
This is
just be conscious about what you're
like
doing.
this is I was talking about, the challenges this past 1.5 years with my mother and stuff. That's her journey and this is my journey, but they're intertwined for a reason. And for me, that's why I love dry fasting so much. There's nothing I have to worry about. I'm doing colonic or colinos or whatever. I don't know how many times I can tell you I had to stop and go run to my mother's house. Just to give you an example. These are all excuses for me. But I'm just saying it's not a comfortable place to be when somebody's in a fasting state and they're not able to do all the things that are going to help them and aid them in the fast. So this is something that's very important, very crucial, why I brought it up. So for myself, because I have quite a bit of experience, I like doing the long dries. Long dries. That comes with time. It comes. and we'll all get there. If you're following the program, this lifestyle, eventually you're going to be able to do those 7, 8, 9, 10-day dry fasts in a few years. Doesn't matter how long it takes. Who cares? You'll be able to get there if you're living this lifestyle. So that's the real ultimate way that you're going to see even more magic happen when you go into the longer dries. Gabrielis, when he did his 40-day dries within a short time period, one after another with breaks in between.
The longest was 15.
This is after he did a couple of master fasts, cleaned the GI tract, and that's when he started gaining all the paralysis was starting to reverse in his right side. He shared a story a while ago, going into those dries. But it's not going to happen for everybody within a year. So he's a very he comes from an athletic background. He had his accident parachuting in a competition. So he has that within him. Not everybody's going to be able to do that. It's going to take most people 2, 3, 4 years to get to these states. What I'm saying is, this is the goal to work towards. You don't want to be pushing yourself to these, but he was very determined and very motivated because his right side was paralyzed. So strong motivation, but not for everybody. There's other people that are paralyzed and the motivation is not there to do that. They'd rather be eating and put it off to the future sometime. And that's okay.
Because you try,
that's okay.
It doesn't work. And then eventually
it's not that it doesn't work. It's just that they don't understand the process.
Yeah. Yeah. But
there's a difference.
They don't know.
And
they didn't look for the information. I'm sure they can always look, and even if you don't get to exactly to the best answer, you're always trying different things until you get to the right answer. Right? Like if you're interested in healing, you will find healing.
Hello, Robbie. Hello, Judith.
Right? And Gabrielis I remember he was into healing. He looked into so many different things before he met us as well. And eventually he found the master fast. And
he's one of the first to contact me when we went online. It was interesting.
Yeah. So number one thing is to search, to do your own homework.
People don't find us the MFS by accident. There's lots that come and they just come and they leave because it's just not for them at this time. Mm-hmm. Just doesn't. There's no. There's not that field strength to resonates with them at this time.
Yeah.
Because they're still looking for something that's missing. Instead of looking.
Oh, they're not interested
in the artist. They understand he's not there. Yeah.
Their priorities are different. For some of us, our priority is to be in top shape in terms of health and spirituality. For other people. And I'm sure you guys, everybody came from that place, our siblings, for example, just look at our siblings. They're not interested. None of them is. And we grew up in the same environment. But some people are interested to live the best life they can ever live.
Siblings.
And others are, maybe they see the best is to maybe have a great job,
Yeah, siblings, extended family, friends, co-workers, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
I have friends of mine that we've known 40 years and more. They know what I do. A lot of them are in misery, pain, and suffering. I don't have any of that stuff. So we all have challenges, but I can say now, that misery, pain, and suffering. I've passed that, and it's awesome when you've overcome. Especially experiencing being bedridden for pretty much 2 years. That was a wonderful experience. Thank you.
Yeah, I think nobody in Giro's family or friends are nobody's doing the master fast. Nobody, right? Nobody has done the master fast. Not even my cousin is. He was interested, so he started. I think he's 5-6 days now. And he's going for 3 weeks. He's the only cousin who was interested in doing veganism before even, meeting me. He was living in California. So he was exposed to information and he was interested, so he changed his lifestyle. But nobody else in my family or friends.
Yeah, I was trying to get my dad to do the MFS, and it just it wasn't happening. He was doing the fruits and the herbs, but couldn't stay away from my mother's cooking. You know, it was very addictive, and he just couldn't comprehend that he needed to fast because he was very thin. You know, but I have no doubt if he did it, he'd probably still be here. But it wasn't his journey. It was time for him to go.
Yeah.
It's time for him to go.
And that's like before the Facebook page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I got him off of, I don't remember how many meds he was on, down to 2 basic meds that we weaned them down on fruits and herbs. And, you know, he had a much better life when I got him off those meds. Much better. He was not a happy camper when he was on all those meds. Oh man, I don't know how anybody can be when they're on multiple meds. But yeah, you know. And then the miracle that happened with my when I made my first GANs. I've shared this story, I think, a while ago. He was in the hospital and things weren't looking good. He was in intensive care. His kidneys were shutting down. And I just finished making, and I still have it. This is my first GANs. I still have it. CH3. This is the one I made first.
CH3 is for
energy. And it was, I think it was Wednesday. He was in the hospital for a few days, intensive care. We go there, and I brought the GANs with me, a little vial. And I put a little bit on his lips, a little bit on his heart, a little bit on his wrists. You know, he was in all the IVs and all that. And then I just thought when I was there, I got to make a bracelet for him so he can wear it. So I went home, and then the next day we went and had the bracelet ready. And they would start removing some of the IVs off him. I'm going, no way. And then the next day, he was wearing a bracelet. The next day they took off more of the stuff. And I'm going, is this possible? Of course it is. It's happening. Because the doctors were bewildered. They didn't know what else to do, basically. They were at that state. We don't know what else to do. You know, this usually has, you know, gets the kidneys going, blah, 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 all their mumbo jumbo. And I didn't tell them anything I was doing, but, and, you know, so and then it was a Saturday morning. We ended up going in. Me and my mother walk in. He's there. I want to go home. I feel amazing. I'm always shit my pants. We were laughing our heads off from, you know, intensive care from a few days ago to feeling amazing. I want to go home. I'm going, this is incredible. This is incredible. And the doctors ended up coming in, and he's saying, yeah, I want to go home. And it was Easter the next day. And they're going, oh, they're actually laughing because they couldn't believe how quick he turned. Let's put it that way. You could see in their faces, they were kind of in a shock. So then they're going, okay, well, we'll do a few more tests, and tomorrow morning, blah, 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 we can release him. And the next day came, and we went to pick him up. It was Easter, and we took him home. And from that point, he lived... I think it was another 6 or 8 months after that, because I went to Italy after, and when I went to Italy, he was gone a month later. But I'm just going to, you know, the power of intent and emotion. I had purposely made that GANs to help my dad. And what did it do? It helped my dad. When people say GANs don't work, it's all scam. No, you're the scam. Putting out all this bull crap that you don't have no understanding. I'm sorry, your intellect is not allowing you to see beyond matter state. And once we start looking beyond matter state, we're going to see, we start seeing all the magic starts happening. You know, anybody can do this. I'm no greater than anybody else. Anybody can do this. You don't need the GANs material. You don't need the GANs material. But it's a part of the belief system, the matter of things where it helps us because of our programming. And we need that comforting matter things to feel and touch and so on and so forth. And this is why, the power of the herbs, we're using the spirit of the herbs and tinctures. What's in there in the spirit? What's there? It's just information. That's all it is. It's just information. It's another form of a GAN state. And the information from our beloved herbs is passed through our spirit, and the work is done on spirit level. The herbs is not done in the physical level. It's done on the spirit level. And the same with the cooked juice. It's a strong cleaner physically, but also on the higher order things on the spirit level. And this is where everybody misses the boat with the cooked juice. Is bad, it's toxic. It's just okay for you maybe, but not for the thousands that have experienced it. Because the understanding wasn't there before. When raw was law, also, and for me, I went through that state. Raw is law, period. Couldn't see anything beyond that for a decade or more. And that was okay. That was part of the experience to gain the understanding with what happened with the art of cooking. It's just now that we have a little more understanding, so we can do things a little differently and have much more outstanding, amazing results by utilizing the new understanding. That's all we're doing. We're utilizing the new understanding. If you eat cooked food every day, you're going to plug yourself up, because that's not what we're doing. We're using the essence of the higher order of the grape juice, or the pomegranate juice, or the watermelon juice, or whatever other juices that we recommend, the cherries and the berries. And we're not using the physicality so much so as we're allowing the higher order of things to come through, the spirit of these beings, because they are beings. They have souls. Everything has a soul. So, guys, we know nothing. We absolutely know fuck all. Excuse my language. We know fuck all. We really, the more along we go, the more I see we really know nothing. Everything that's science and all that. Yeah, we're doing all these amazing things technologically and all that. But at the end of the day, it's nothing when we see a body completely transformed on nothing, with no thought process needed.
We're learning.
Yeah, but we're just tapping into the higher order of that beautiful blueprint that's in there, available for all of us, and allow the process to take place. We don't need to know who, what, where, when, why, how. We don't need to know. It's that ego that gets in the way, that it needs to know. The intellect needs to know. The intellect is, Sadhguru mentioned, it's a knife that cuts through to allow you to see. That's all we need to use the intellect for. Not to justify and who, what, where, when, why, how. It's a knife. I love that, the way he puts it. I call the Luciferic intellect. It's an entrapment, of the false light, or whatever you want to call it. That's so that the ego, the monkey mind. And boy, oh boy, folks, we got lots to learn. We're lots to remember. Let's put it that way. It's actually, we're just remembering, because it's all there. It's all there. The information is all there for everybody to access. I posted that the weaver bird, whatever, I don't know what the name was, it was weaving the nest. If you've seen that video I posted, like, where does that information come from through the bird? It's already all there. It's tapping in automatically. And it knows how to do that beautiful weave nest perfectly every time. Nobody taught it. It's there. The information's there. Like I said,
yeah, just like walking.
Men, they believe they invented this. What do you mean invented? You don't need to invent anything. Tap into the information. You can create anything you want. The information is all there. Nobody invented anything. It's all there. It's complete, 100% complete creation. There's nothing missing. You want to make a an engine that goes on water, the information's there. You want to create transport with plasma, the information's there. You want to walk through walls, the information's there. I'm just throwing in a stupid example. You want to grow plants better, faster, bigger, the information's there. We don't have to invent it. We just need to tap into that. Some call it the Akashic records.
This is how we create anyways. This is how we create, but it's not our creation. It's just...
Yeah, it's a remembering. To tap into that memory.
Once you tap in, you're a creative person. You become more creative than you were before.
Our bodies have these memories, of our ancestors. I'm sure, like even Sadhguru mentioned this, your nose is your nose of your great-great-great-great-great-grandfather. Of course, it's a memory. Your body's automatic contains the memory of our ancestors. And it goes beyond that to creator, to creation. That memory is within all of us. And it's so powerful and so magical. We've been duped to believe it's not possible. You need this, that, and the other thing is missing. You're deficient. You need to go to a doctor. You need to have this operation. Bull crap. Bull crap. I'm going to get a bull crap buzzer. Meh. But hey, Steve, thanks for joining. So yeah, we're tapping into these new possibilities that we didn't know were possible now, and it's just a memory. It's just a memory. Like I get into these states sometimes, and they're so magical, and I'm going, my goodness, why didn't I tap into this before? Because it's always there. It's always there. It's just we're blocked up, so we can't see it. Because there's so many different levels and so many infinite realms that we can tap into. And I don't know them all, but we can access them through memory. And how do we access them through memory? Just go on more and more fast and longer fast over the years, months and decades and whatever. Just continue and allow the process to take place. Have trust in your soul. That's all we can encourage is people to trust in their soul. Because you can't trust me. Who the hell am I? I don't know you. Why would you trust me? Trust in your soul. Trust in your soul. You'll gain more and more trust as you allow the process to happen and gain the understanding by the little guidance we give. And you'll see for yourself that, wow, there's something to this. And this is where you see people go more and more, and they dig deeper and deeper and deeper because they start accessing that memory, and they can see there's no bull crap because they're trusting their own soul. They're not trusting me. Who the hell am I? I'm not. I'm just a guy like anybody else.
Yeah, and fasting is super powerful. We all have this tool. We all have the tool. And Master Fast makes it simpler to fast and go longer and feel better because you are clearing all the obstructions as you go longer and longer. So fasting is a tool that we all have. We all had since we were born. It's a tool the humans have, and I think it's the most powerful tool we have. And it's just helping us do it in an efficient way, in a safe way.
I'm just a lot more stubborn than the average person. I gotta find out. I gotta keep going. So, Mark, what day are you on?
Mark is close to finishing.
I think he's 105 or something.
He's up there.
Hello.
Hi.
Mark, it's late now for you, right?
Yeah, it's nearly 2 a.m.
Wow.
That's okay. It's Saturday. I'm on day 105.
Oh, awesome.
Nice.
I'm at 39 kilo.
Yeah, you've lost weight. We can see. Some
It's
lost waist, yeah. You're not the thinnest. We've seen thinner.
again, please.
you're not the thinnest. There's people who've gone thinner than you. They've lost more weight.
Okay.
Yeah. And, just now is the real magic, trust the process. Know that your body will build better, stronger, faster than ever before. Just know
I hope
that.
so.
No hope. You need to understand. You need to know. Lots of us have been through it. Don't let all the bull crap and the fear penetrate what we know. I have no doubt. I have zero doubt that you can do what I just said. Build better, faster, stronger.
You want your faith now. You want your faith now more than ever, huh?
Yeah.
Now that you're going to break your fast.
This is the challenging part.
Soon, you want your faith. You want to believe in what you're doing and be conscious about what you're doing, even if you feel trapped. Know that you're trapped and do your best to get out of it. Be conscious. Like many of us become impulsive when we start eating. It's like out of control. You want to be calm. You want to be conscious, even if you eat something that is, not the optimal thing. Be conscious. Be conscious, and don't overdo it. Don't keep doing the same mistake. Don't, avoid. If you do a mistake, don't give up. Even if you feel really bad because it hurts, don't give up.
The key,
Keep going and get up and continue on the right path.
Yeah.
Be conscious, be calm, and avoid being impulsive.
The key when you break your fast, number one, is to keep the bowels moving. Very, very important, because all this fasting now is put a lot of stuff, a lot of obstructions in the way of being loosened up, and the body's trying to get rid of them at all levels. And the bowels is one of the ways where it's going to be carried out. So it's very, very important. And as you're putting food through, the food's going to also carry some of that stuff and pull it through as well, because there's lots going on when you break the fast. And you keep things moving, keep the energies moving. It's very important. Keep doing your breath work, keep moving. Stay as clean as you possibly can. 100% fruit is the best when you're breaking your fast. Continue and just stay connected. Don't be afraid of anything. Allow the process to happen. Sometimes when we come off the fast, we're going to feel energetically much weaker, because the body starts weakening itself, because you're using energies you didn't have to use before, meaning you're digesting. That consumes a lot of energy. And it takes time for some people for that to come back online, on board, for the body to start digesting properly again, and so on and so forth, and bowels to move. It may take weeks, a month or so, or it may take a little bit longer. Who cares? Just allow the process to happen and take place, and keep that faith in the soul. The body knows exactly what it's doing. There's no other options out there. The body knows exactly what it's doing. Keep it as your mantra. The body knows exactly what it's doing, over and over. Just allow the process to happen. Keep doing breath work and so on and so forth. Stay connected. Stay on the page. Let us know when you reach 108 days.
Yeah, stay connected with us, because this will keep you on the right track. Stay connected as much as you can with us. Ranjit broke it beautifully. Maybe Ranjit, you can give some suggestions. Yeah.
Again, please. I must nearly everything, but your question I don't understand well now.
Mm-hmm.
You had a question?
No, Rana said to Ranjit if she can give some tips.
Yes, absolutely. Watermelon was the best one for me, and the most ripest fruit. I think Mark seems to be with what's going on to me by just seeing his communication. And I think already within your soul what you have to do, because the soul always guides you. And that's what I did, because don't let the monkey mind come in too quick, because the monkey mind will come in, because it's all, I can feel the monkey mind already. So once you enjoy your first piece of food, which hopefully is a beautiful, ripe piece of fruit that you're just so in love with, bless that food, pray over it. Just be you and the fruit. Don't worry about any other people or anyone else. Don't have to eat with anybody else unless you want to eat with us. And savor every single taste that you take in, because you actually feel it go in your mouth, down your throat, and you feel the cells in your body just absorb it into your gut, and it goes through. And my bowels actually work pretty quickly, and then it just goes through, and you feel it all. And then when you actually eat it, you get information, and you get more downloads, more realizations, and that's really, it's actually quite powerful. I didn't realize how powerful it was going to be having food that way. And try and keep it not too much on your digestive system, because I've noticed if I actually haven't gone to greens yet, because I just don't want to. I feel it's too heavy. My soul's saying no to it. Cucumber maybe I might go to, but tomato, I have had tomato, and but I haven't had any heavy greens like cow spinach or any of those, or even avocado or anything like that, because the soul says no to me. So I think the soul, and you're connected, Mark, I know you are, and you're going to be okay. Because you just got to be careful you don't eat any heavy foods, that's all, because I think that's where most people probably have problems. And the soul's already told you that. Just, please don't eat any heavy foods. Have liquids if if you're going to have something naughty, have a liquid naughty, not a heavy food naughty. I think that's what I think. But I think you already know, Mark, don't you? You already know how you're going to break.
Yeah. To eat a lot of fruits, surely only 100% food for the first weeks. And the only challenge what I will have is that I already book of my holidays to Thailand. Nice. And that will be a big challenge, because I know about their food and it's really delicious to what I remember. And I think not that I can resist to try some of that.
I have an idea, because we got invited to a friend's place for Vietnamese food, and all I did was drink the liquid. I didn't have, because Thai food, the green Thai curries and all that, you can get the juice and maybe add a bit of hot water, or have some hot water beside you, or whatever, or warm water, and liquefy it down. Because because their foods can be heavy, Thai food sometimes, but just go for the cleaner, liquidy, order those, and
the ones that grow on trees.
I mean, Thailand is great for the fruits, so that's a great place to go. When are you going?
In April, for 3 weeks.
In February?
No, in April.
April, not now. Yeah. So
so I have 3 months time now to regenerate. My plan was to only eat fruits for the first weeks. Later to do some salad like you did, or like I can see in the master fast. Yeah. I see a lot of pictures there, so what I can eat for the first time, and also see some ideas about raw soup, raw tomato soup, for example, and everything very delicious. And I can eat it for the rest of my life. But I know when I go to Thailand, I already stayed 4 times there, and I love this country. I love the people, and I love the food. And the plan is, I also know that they have big markets with the best fruit ever you can find in the world. So I know about the mangoes or the watermelon, or also the family what I will go visit, they have a farm for fruits. And I see what they eat. My girlfriend sent me a lot of pictures there. And there's this seagrass and really a healthy food, and it's not a problem. But when I stay in Bangkok or in big places, or to go to visit markets or malls, and I know about the red curry or everything what they offer. This is awesome. This make me crazy. Huh? I think when I see that or I smell it, then I want to try. I cannot resist. That's my idea for go to holidays, to also say, okay, come down and try also to some normal food. But I think until April, I have a lot of time to prepare. So I hope.
Yeah.
It's
Normally, you see, you have to break the fast the double of the time what you did the fast.
It takes at least that long. Yeah, that's the process of the body, doing all the work it needs to do to start building itself, et cetera, reorganizing, digesting properly again, et cetera. At least twice as long, at least. Yeah. So yeah, you got, you're going to Thailand, and what better place to be? They have amazing fruit. What does Robbie say here?
There are many raw foodists who go to Thailand, so maybe do something like that. Maybe if you go to the raw food restaurants where there are more healthier options.
He's talking about fruit. This is amazing. There's lots of fruit there.
Yeah, fruit is the best. But I mean, if you want curry and stuff like that, maybe healthier restaurants, right? And don't overdo it, because you will feel very happy.
You'll know.
You will know.
Robbie says, Mark, I found going for the smells and standing by it and just breathe it in until you feel satisfied. Then move on. Eat their wonderful fruits until you are physically satisfied. Yeah. If you grab some food that you think you want to eat, some prepared stuff, just take in the odor. Stand there. If you stand there long enough and just deal with the emotional level of the food, you will be satisfied without eating
it. That I can do here in Germany, because our food is not the best, but sometimes I smell a lot of good food, and then I stop for a while, and then I smell it, and then I'm satisfied already.
Exactly.
So it's easy for me to do it here in Germany, but Thailand, for this, it will be a challenge for sure. I already made a really bad experience last year in July, when I make a water fast on 18 days, and I go back to eat directly hot. So I eat pizza, I eat sad food, no? And then after that, I had for nearly 1 week, I had big legs full with water on it, and I cannot move anymore.
Yeah.
And then I can really go bad.
Yeah, you can get hydraulic lock and die.
So
it's people have put themselves in these situations. It's not a good place to be. You need to understand there's so much happening after you break a fast. So much. There's so much happening during the fast, and so much happening after the fast. And this is where few people really have an understanding of that. We have a little understanding, but it's no need to know exactly what's happening. It doesn't matter. It's all on autopilot, and everything goes beautifully when you do it properly, according to how we have it laid out, and you'll be fine. A little bit of edema you might get here and there until everything kicks back is okay. You can still use a little bit of herbs to help keep things energies moving. Yeah, a lot of enemas, colinamas, like I said, keep those bowels moving. That's the key, number one. Continue that.
Yeah, when you do mistakes, right away wash your colon.
How's your energy now?
It depends. Sometimes high, sometimes low. Just I finish now a dry fast 24 hours, and after I begin to drink, I also drink my champagne and also all processes of the MFS. And now I begin to be really tired. So now, so when I talk with you, not only listen and I enjoy to share also my little experience that I already did to see what is your recommends or your answers.
You mean that you get tired after you drink the bubbly?
No, it's just because I already did it all day and I wake up very early. I had a long day. I go out to do some things. I buy and work here at in my apartment. And now it's already 1 a.m. and 2 a.m. So it's late for me. But
Yeah, of course.
the most problem what I had the last weeks was how to say insomnia. I could not sleep really. I stay all night. I don't know. I
Yeah,
couldn't sleep.
It happens. Just embrace it and use the time. Do some reading or whatever, meditating. You go through, this happens during fasting because there's so much going on, and science will try and tell you, oh, this is happening because of that, because of this, and they don't have a clue. Don't listen to any of it. Understand the soul's doing work, and it knows exactly what to do. No doubt, exactly, because it's coming from source. So if you know that, allow the process to take place. Yeah, okay, you're going to have insomnia. Who cares? Who cares?
Yeah, already.
Use the time. When your body's going to need sleep, believe me, you're going to sleep. Even if you have to do naps during the day, take the naps. Even if it's for half an hour or whatever, 15 minutes. Take the naps. Allow the process to take place because your body knows exactly what to do. And this is the challenge to get this message across. No matter how many thousands of times I've said it, it doesn't sink in to people. Not everybody. It's a very difficult thing because we're not trained that way. We're trained that we need to know this, that, the other thing, and why, and who. Go to your doctor, get a blood test, get this check your blood pressure, blah, 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 blah. And it all means nothing to me. Honestly, it all means nothing to me. The more I go into fasting, the more I see how all that is an entrapment, and it's going to hold you back, and it's going to confuse you. All that stuff. I'm not saying it doesn't have its purpose. When somebody's on the meds and operations and so on for so long, and you got to get them off all that stuff, they got to monitor because everything is so out of whack. Not because of the fast, it's because of what they've done up to that point in their lifestyle and all the drugs they've been on and all the surgeries and everything. And that's throwing everything so out of whack that you can't just change from all that to go on to fasting. So there's got to be a process, intelligent, prudent process to wean yourself off and allow all that crap to come out of you so the body can start bouncing on. This may be a few years. It's not going to happen overnight.
So Mark, what are you thinking about, like you want to do fruits the first week? How many days a week do you want to eat?
So it's also sure that I follow the MFS protocol. So it means that I will continue to dry fasting for 12 hours every day, for 1 day in a week, 24 hours. And so rest, I will enjoy the fruit.
Excellent.
On monofast. I try to find watermelon. If not, I will continue with grapes. And that's both what I choose to continue for the all February. And in March, I begin to try vegetables.
Okay, if your body craves it early, just do green juices. But what I would suggest, this is for your 24-hour dry fast, for example, try and maybe do a liquid day before the dry and a liquid day after, just liquids, on the juice and the green juice or whatever. You see that?
So 3 days master fast.
So you'll invigorate the body much quicker that way than eating 6 days a week is what I'm trying to say. 6 days a week back on food is a big difference from no days a week. You know what I mean? So I'm only suggesting it's a whole different. Let me give you an example. You mentioned that you break your fast and you drink and you get drained of energy. Try a 10, 11, 12-day dry fast and then start drinking. Then you're going to see how much draining even liquids are. It's a whole other experience.
Yeah. I'm sure you have felt it when you did 3-day dry and then you went to drinking after. You felt tired at the beginning and then your body balanced out, right?
Have you done 3-day dries?
Again.
Have you done 3-day dry fast?
Yeah, in the first times, yeah, when I begin with the master fast, then I have enough energy to do it. But I see more long the fast go on, so weaker I get, and it was really challenging to do a long dry fast.
Mm.
And now I'm also challenged with the 24 hours.
Yeah. That's why we say do it slowly. We say don't overdo the dry fast.
Yeah, it's like being on MFS is very powerful cleanser already, and the people who have pushed themselves on dries never went the distance because they dry themselves out in their own filth, and this is what most don't understand. You know, I've always said, dry, the more dry, the more aggressive the fast. But which people don't understand is you need to be ready through decades of practice. And what do people do? They jump in and they try to do these long dry fasts. Okay, and you pay the price because it's your body's not ready to come from all that eating to not eating hardly anything. You know, to give you an example, I broke my first 108 days with a 5-day dry. I've been fasting for almost 30 years now, and you know, and it's still challenging. You know, it still is challenging to break 108 days with a 5-day dry.
Like to finish,
you know,
108 days.
And then you know, after that, in the next spring in Italy, I started a master fast with 12-day dry, my first 12-day, and then I ended up going 42 days, and in those 42 days, I did 26 days dry of the 42. Now, anybody can try and do it. If you have no experience, I say it's stupidity. This took me decades of fasting to get to this state. It's not going to happen overnight to transform every cell in your body and the physical, mental, and emotional levels. Like I said, we were talking earlier about the programming. Those programs are driven deep within our being. They're not going to change overnight. Can it happen overnight? Can a miraculous thing? Sure it can. Have I seen it happen? I haven't seen it happen yet. Doesn't mean it can't happen. Instantaneously transformation and healing, it doesn't mean it can't happen. But the possibilities of it happening are very low. But we do know that through a process, there is a magic process, and it will happen. It's just going to take some time because in matter state, everything's slowed down. It doesn't happen instantaneously like it does in the dream state. And who cares? Who cares? It's a lifestyle.
So Mark, we're saying it's best to do maybe 3 days of master fast, including 1 day. One of them is dry, maybe in the middle. So liquid, dry, liquid. And then the other 4 days eating, eating according to the protocol. Do your best.
Okay.
Would you be able to do that? Because that, in my opinion, that would be much better than going for 6 days, because the cravings will come back very quickly.
The more you eat, the more you want to eat.
Yeah, the more you eat, the more you want to eat. So it's better not to make all the days eating and have some fasting breaks.
Is your job physical?
No. I mean, no.
Are you doing exercises? Are you moving?
I stopped to do Tai Chi because I lose my energy. Yeah. Before I did for years Tai Chi.
And you stopped?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, I don't know. I was too lazy at least.
Okay. Get back on it.
Get back on it right away. You don't want to stop your movement and exercise when you're in a fast. Force yourself, even a little bit, 15, 20 minutes a day. I'll give you an example. My 12-day dries, there was days I woke up, very little sleep I needed. And the body was in such a deep, relaxed state. I could barely get out of the bed. Never, ever did I get in a deep, relaxed state until I've experienced the long dries. Anyway, I force myself to get out of the bed very slowly, sit up. Everything's okay on the horizon. Get up, start doing the breath work, move around, get the washcloth with cold water, and then start doing yoga. As the energy, you start moving, the energy started coming back more and more and more. Then get on my bike, and I had to ride up a mountain for 5 kilometers. So I'm just going to tell you that stopping movement is the stupidest thing people can do. Excuse me. And this is what people suggest all the time out there when people are fasting, because they don't understand that energy comes through the lymphatic system, physically and energetically.
Yeah.
And until we get in a state where there's no obstructions and the lymph will move on its own, which I believe it will, plasmatically, without any movement, until we get to that state, you need to move it physically so you can get the energy levels up. I've experimented this over and over, and my conclusion is you need to move. And many people have given us feedback, and that's the conclusion. You need to move. You need to move.
Of course, you don't want to.
It doesn't have to be vigorous.
Yeah, you don't.
But you need to move. Like Tai Chi is beautiful.
Like you're gonna faint.
Yeah.
Do it, but.
You gotta move, Mark. Simple stuff, stretching, whatever. Go for a brisk walk. But how many years experience of fasting you have?
2 years.
3 years?
2 years before I just make intermittent fasting, so 16 to 8.
That's just daily fast.
And eat clean with food and raw food.
Yeah. And your first long fast was your water fast last year?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, the intermittent fasting, then you're eating 7 days a week. You're only going to get so far with that because you're eating. But you're going to see the difference as time goes on. Like I said, just keep that faith and have the understanding that the body knows exactly what to do. That's all you need to know. The body knows exactly what to do. And no matter how many times we say it, people don't believe it because the programming is running and it's completely opposite to what we're telling them. So how can we change that? Through the experiences. It's the only way. Once you've done it 3, 4, 5, 6 times, you're going to look back and say, my goodness gracious, the answers are in plain sight. Why didn't I see it before? That's what happened with me. I'm no different than any of you. I just have done it so many times because of my stubbornness and pushed myself through sometimes, but I didn't have the understanding. Now we understand we don't need to push. We allow the process and we pull ourselves through the difficult times. There's no reason to push.
Remember, it's a lifestyle, and that's the key. It's a lifestyle. The 108 days is just 108 days, and then the lifestyle is forever. And it's
108 days is the door opener.
It will really have a lot of effect.
You hit 108 days, you have the key, the master key. We give you the master key. You open the doors. It's up to you if you're going to walk through or if you want to close them. It's up to you. We can't do anything else for you. We're going to hand you the key at 108 days.
That's what I see, what I found for myself, and I need some weeks to understand if that is really true. What you talk when I meet you the first time, I listen, and I also see some bad comments, but I never stop to believe on that what you say, and I don't know why, because my soul already know the answers, but you showed me how to do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, we can't do that for the rest of my life. It's just for me sometimes challenging to go really to another life because of the food. Because sometimes I have cravings, I miss it, and I know. I also when I have cravings, I look on YouTube some food challenge where they eat 2 or 3 kilos of everything awesome bad, but it's okay for me. So I see what they eat, I enjoy with them, but I know the killers themselves. So already enough. Also, when I see at work, or when I smell or see some people in a restaurant, it's everything is okay for me to go there and to sit down and talk with the people and look what they eat and smell what they eat. But there's no need anymore to join and to eat with them. And this it's like I know already what I have to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We're all in the same boat. We're no different. All those cravings and this and that and the other thing, they never go away. We've been getting brought up with this stuff. We've been brought up. The only thing we can do is change our response to all these things. That's all we can do.
Be conscious.
Yeah, and you know, we can still enjoy the smells and everything and whatever. And there's some things that you'll start to not like the smells. You know, for example, for me, the smelling of carcass barbecues, and people say, "Oh, that wonderful smell." That was one thing that really started bothering me after burnt carcass. It really bothered me. So they,
I go back to eat this food, and I see why you stop now your fast, and after that I also feel what you told later too, that I was not satisfied to eat it, and or sometimes when I say, okay, no, you continue your fast, you not touch the food or eat with my friends, I drive back home and I was a little bit sad because I missed a chance to eat good food. But now when I do the same thing, I think, oh, very good that you not eat, very good that you take care of your health, very good that you was strong to say no. And now really my mind changed and my feelings changed about what I have to eat and what.
We feel like we're missing out. On what? On what are we missing out?
You know,
we've eaten for how many years prior? And you know how many more years we can enjoy eating? What are we missing out? We're not missing anything. So the whole illusion that we've been fed that we're missing out on something for that moment. We're not missing out on anything. But for those few seconds of pleasure within the taste buds, and then once it goes down, you'll see what we're talking about after you start eating. You're going to go, my goodness, is this what eating's about?
yeah.
That plasma vacuum tube now is pretty clean. After 180 days, it's pretty good. It's not 100%, but it's clean. And you're going to understand when things go through there on how what they do to the body. You're going to be able to feel it, especially the next morning. You're going to go wake up and you're going to go, my goodness gracious, what did I do?
Yeah, and Mark, you know, it's interesting because I did go out before to dinners fasting, sometimes dry fasting, and everybody would feel sorry for you because they have absolutely no understanding how you feel. You feel amazing. You're not hungry because you don't eat this food.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, when you go back to eating this food, like let's say I go back to eating the same food that I used to eat before with these people, I will crave the food. I will be looking forward to eat with them. You know, it's really very interesting. Even sometimes, yeah, like for Christmas, we ate at your sister's, right? I was looking forward to eat, you know, like, I'm sure if I didn't anticipate to eat, I wouldn't be hungry. But once just anticipating that I will eat her delicious food, vegan, but you know, it's not my food. But the cravings come back. It's crazy. It's all mental, and you know, like we create this whole thing. But are you hungry? I mean, what I like about Master Fast Weekly is, you know, eating one day a week just for pleasure. And honestly, sometimes I don't have the time to eat or prepare the food. I'm running around. We're doing things. We're visiting people or something. So I didn't have time. And so rushing. And I feel like, you know, I didn't eat, you know, because I was rushing. I didn't enjoy the experience. It's all about the experience. You know, do it consciously, enjoy it, enjoy every bite. And that's what happened with me. Last Sunday, we were busy. We were running around 3-4 hours outside the home. And the whole day was just rushing. And when we came back, like 6:30, I started making the salad. rushing again. And I didn't eat it at home. We went to your mom's and we ate it. So the whole environment, everything was rushing. And on Monday came and I was like, I feel like I didn't enjoy my food. And so I said, I want to order food. So I bought food, and it was not the, the best, but not the worst neither. But I'm just saying, like, it's crazy. It's about conscious eating. Enjoy your food. When you eat, say, okay, this is for me to eat and enjoy. It's for pleasure, nothing more, nothing less. And maybe say to yourself, I am always fasting. I can survive on fasting, but sometimes eating for pleasure. When you eat, enjoy it. Don't do it impulsively. Yeah, so just imagine that you're always fasting and you're eating sometimes.
Make sure you eat enough. I'm not saying to blow yourself up, but make sure you eat enough. Because breaking the fast, people make a mistake. They eat very, very small amounts, and it can't keep people pulled through because the body's got to remember how to process everything again. The only thing that's been going through there is pudding. So make sure you're eating enough,
And also,
you don't want to force yourself, but make sure you're eating enough fruit to move through.
Not only to move through, but also to satisfy you.
Yeah.
Because you might feel full because your stomach was so small. But after an hour, you'll be hungry, and you'll be the whole time hungry. You don't want to be hungry. Eat a meal. You have eaten fruits before, right?
Yeah.
Right? You did raw foods, so you know how to eat raw foods. It's not like one apple or, one man, like, I don't know. Yeah, you want to eat. You want to eat to feel, okay, I'm full. The juice is like 2 liters we drink. And so when you eat about comparable amount of energy, so you don't feel a huge difference. Comparable amount of energy to 2 liters of juice. Not much less than that.
Okay.
Yeah, this is how I see it. If I eat a little bit, I don't
buy the energy thing, but anyway.
Yeah.
Eat enough until you're satisfied. Just don't force. And
Good.
don't make the mistake of continuously eating all day. It's going to be draining in your mind if you continuously eat and eat and eat. Sit down, prepare your 1 or 2 meals a day, or even if it's 3 if you have to, but I wouldn't go more than 2 meals a day, and continue with your dry fasting schedule. And have some juice, continue drinking juice, to fill in so it can help control. And
the juice will help you as well.
And just don't worry about anything. It's all, everything's fine. Everything's going to be fine. Nothing's out of the ordinary. It's a process. It's a process. Don't worry about it. Just we just like to encourage people to be aware of what they're doing when they break the fast, because that's where people will fail. It's not anybody can fast, but it takes a wise man to break a fast. That's the saying. So hello Terrell and Khaled. So it's breaking the fast is the key. And we need to learn how to do it over and over and over and over. This is why we have a dry fasting schedule. We're doing a daily window. We're doing a weekly 24-hour. We're doing a monthly 3-day. We're doing a longer one on the season change. And we're doing, the master fast, whenever we feel to jump in. And breaking the fast. So over and over and over. We're fasting, we're breaking, we're fasting, we're breaking, we're fasting, we're breaking. Until it's your lifestyle. And this is what I've been doing for 30 years almost.
When you do enough, you will know.
So
you will know. You will choose fasting.
I only keep getting more and more enthusiastic about fasting because of the new stuff we've learned, the new understanding, and the magic that we're seeing taking place that I haven't witnessed before. So it's there's the new spark continuously happening within the realm of MFS, where I have not seen it anywhere else myself. So it's just magical to be a part of it and witness people going through these wonderful transformation metamorphoses that of complete change in their whole life and their whole being. People that are in bed for 20 years are back to work, some people, and stuff like that. It's just amazing. So Is everything possible? Of course it is. Of course it is. It's just our belief system is something that is a challenge to change.
Practice.
Terrell, sorry, day 15. I feel tired after doing the plasma pudding. I use 1-2 tablespoons and do it in the afternoon. Thank you. Hello, Ranjit.
I was just going to say, Mark, when he breaks, the one thing I've kept is a dry fasting schedule, because when you dry fast, it keeps you in the MFS realm. So the daily, the weekly, the monthly, keep that, because what happens is these triggers come back. Like after a month, I had all these triggers, and then I just went bang, 5 days of MFS.
Reset.
So it reminds you that you don't get trapped into the vortex of the old paradigms. So Mark, yeah, that's one thing I could say to anybody that breaks a long fast is keep your dry schedule non-negotiable. Just keep it.
Okay, I will do. Thank you.
Any suggestions to prevent the heavy feeling after consuming the plasma pudding? 1 to 2 tablespoons is not a large amount. There's lots going on when you're putting the pudding through you. It's doing a lot of work and absorbing and massaging. And
how are you taking it?
And as that's happening, it's drawing things that the fast has been loosening up as it's going through. So it's what we suggest is do some breath work and stuff, and we'll keep moving around, keep the energy level up.
Do you drink it liquid or do you make it hard?
It won't matter. Consume plasma pudding and half a pint of juice and 2 lemons. Yeah. I like mine kind of dry, like a dessert. Put just a bit of maple syrup. That's the way I eat it. People say they don't like it and stuff, but it's just like eating cereal.
What's a half a pint?
Half a pint is
1 cup?
Yeah, it's about a cup, I think, right? 8 ounces?
Yeah.
Pint is 16 ounces.
Do you drink it slowly or do you drink it fast? 2 lemons? You don't need to put 2 lemons.
It's a lot of lemon, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just what is my recipe? I just put I either make it with the juice. I warm it up, the juice, or I use a little bit of warmed tea. Small, just enough liquid to turn it into solid. Very small amount of liquid I use, and then I'll sip liquid after I eat the tea or the juice. That's the way I do it. A lot of people they say they gag on it. I don't know. We've seen children enjoying it, so it's all mental thing. It's the same. It's mental.
I drink it fast. I don't like the texture when it becomes slimy. Kind of.
Yeah. If you use warm liquid, it gels up very quick. So like you see how we've showed how I make my tea, and very rich. So when I'm only doing like half a cup of tea, a couple times a day. I don't do a full cup anymore. It's been a while. I don't drink large amounts of tea. I'm on the reduced liquid diet, but that takes a long time. As a newbie, make sure you're drinking enough liquids or you will drown in your own filth. I'm not saying that I'm clean, but I'm saying it takes a time for the body to start utilizing and hydrating itself. You need to remove the obstructions for that to start happening. And if you start trying to reduce your liquids and increase your dries, you're going to get in trouble. So drink enough liquids, and everything will be fine because it can be washed out. That's the key, because the dries are they're squeezing, and then things need to move out. And this is where I don't see people have that understanding of their dry fasting out there. I've been in a lot of dry fasting groups that Well, a lot. There's only a few of them in the last few years. And I left them all because there's no point. They just don't gain the understanding. I don't see any magic happening in those groups because you need to clean the GI tract for dry fasting magic to start happening. Obstructions, V equals P, take away O. The art of subtraction. Steve. Hello all. I had my first colonic this past Thursday. I was amazed at what came out. Awesome. Awesome. Then we suggested for you to do that. Yeah. It's awesome, Steve. It's a whole different experience in enema, right?
It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. Very relaxing. The woman was she's a healer. Really made the experience was perfect.
Awesome.
I'm glad I took your advice.
Yeah.
It took about a half an hour for things to really start moving, but once they did.
Yeah. It's
the whole session ran about 75 minutes.
Oh wow. That's a good
Yeah.
Good
it
call.
Was. Yeah, she was an amazing she's a healer. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Beautiful soul.
I'm glad you experienced it like that. Sometimes people go on their first colonic and hardly nothing comes out, and that's okay. It's no big deal. But I'm glad that you've seen and felt what happens. It's if you're doing colonics while you're eating and when you're fasting, there's just night and day difference. You're only going to go so far doing colonics while you're eating. When you're fasting, we're in a whole different ballgame. We're in a whole different state. We're in a whole different state. We're in an elimination state. When we're eating, we're in a plugging up state. So it's two different experiences. And that's why on MFS, especially, they are crucial and essential. Enemas, colonics, colemas, whatever you have available to use to your full extent, because we want to wash and wash and wash all the decades of us eating out.
What day are you now, Steve?
23. I still feel not high energy, that's for sure. Still pretty low energy, but
How are
okay.
How are the enemas?
Good.
Yeah.
Good. I'm on a dry fast right now. Once I finish the colonic, that's the day I usually that night, Thursday night, I start the dry fast. So
Awesome.
I'll probably be able to get a little more fluid in after what came out. I mean, it was really just mind-boggling what came out. I was just blown away.
It never ceases to amaze people because we have no clue how much garbage we can hold. It's just it's hard to comprehend. It's hard. It's very hard, difficult.
Yeah, the enemas were moving, but not like the colonic did.
Yeah. The analogy.
I bought a series of 10, so I got for the next 10 weeks out.
Oh, okay. The analogy I gave is, how do you expect some herbs to do all their magic when you have a 4 or 5 gallon pail of garbage sitting in your GI tract? You put these little herbs in you and you want them to do all the magic. Good luck. That's the analogy I give. And that's really close to the fact of the matter of what's inside us. It's in our whole GI tract and all the organs, glands, tissues. It's in every part of our being, the physical, mental, and emotional, also in the energetic levels. So how do we clean that out? We fast. Fast prudently. Use tools, and it comes out. But it takes time. We had a few people, one in particular, I remember, that they didn't release the old stuff until they hit 60 days on full MFS. Then they started to release. The guy was turning to stone, literally. His spine was so crooked. And at 60 days, he started to release, and his spine was starting to straighten out, and it was freaking him out. It's freaking him out. It was just way too much transformation happening all at once. So, why do I like long fasts? Because magic happens. Magic happens in the short fast too, but in the long ones, we can get a lot of crap out of us so we can get a bit of a start, but we need to be ready for the transformation. And this is where people, they go off to their regular lifestyles after because they weren't ready for the massive transformation that happens in 108 days. So, for some people, they shouldn't be doing 108 days off the bat. It's just they're not mentally, emotionally ready for that change. They say they are, they want to heal, but they're not doing the things to warrant that they really do want to heal. They're doing the opposite things, going to eat whatever and not doing all the, protocol properly, not doing, living the, changing everything in their lifestyle to avoid all the triggers, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, nobody's perfect, but until we make the changes, we're not going to see changes. So we need to make the change all the way through in our lifestyle. And once we do that, changes are going to happen. It's automatic. It's going to happen. The physicality has no choice. Once you made the decision and you put forth the changes in your lifestyle, physicality has no choice but to follow through with the changes. It's a slow motion process in the physical realm, but it happens. Slow motion meaning over the months and years or whatever, instead of things happen instantaneously, which we'll see more of that happen in the future. Instantaneous healings, I believe, because we've awakened the new knowledge, the new understanding of what actually happens when you start trusting in soul. And it's all autopilot. We don't have to worry about anything. Just allow the process to take place and see the magic unfold. So embrace it all. Continue cleaning. Like we said, whatever it is that you're going through is a challenge. Enemas, number one, colonics or kalima, and breath work. Those are the two things, so simple to do, and will make your experience much better and be more efficient. The mudra, this simple mudra is good for many things to just calm you down. It's very relaxing mudra. When you're in a state of anxiety or whatever, just get into the breath, go do your enemas. Emotional, go do your enemas. Whatever, enemas, pains, whatever, enemas. And we have so many other tools that we can follow through and use. But let the magic unfold, because the magic is there waiting. It's just we need to make the proper steps to allow that to unfold and present itself through the process. The process is the magic. Robbie, we seen you dancing around there. You got some new energy. Awesome. So what are we at? Oh my goodness, we're almost at the 2 hour mark. Anybody else want to share? We're going to silence and end it.
I don't know, I'll keep talking. Going into the 180 days, it's because it's not for everybody, okay, but my soul pulls me to do it, which is going to start on the 1st of March, so the soul's already preparing itself. That's
6 months.
Yeah, I'm hanging out. I am really hanging out because I'm practicing a lot more liquids and doing all, I'm just so excited about it because I know that more downloads are going to happen and more realizations. And I just like, one thing I miss the most is how you automatically fall into those meditative states where when you're feasting, you've got to practice the rituals and do all that stuff, where I actually fully believe now that you're not meant to be, it's meant to just be easy. It's just meant to happen. It is what it is. And it's not meant to be like being there for 2 or 3 hours, just, practicing that meditation. And so I miss that the most because I miss me and I miss my friends. And You know, I remember in the 108 days, I was still operational. I was still having conversations with people. So I want to try and practice that integration of being in those meditative states and living the human experience, because that is truly possible. And I can only get there really fast through the fasting. I can't seem to doing the other stuff, breath work, meditation on its own, doing walking, stretching. I have to will myself to do it. Where when you fast, because you're so cleaned out, it's easy.
Effortless.
There's no willpower. So I missed that. So I reckon already done. It's already done. The 180 days is already done. It's just me catching up to the dimensions. And the other thing that I've kind of had a realization about is imagination. Because when I talk to people about being in the other dimensions, people don't understand. So then I go, well, it's actually imagination. I said, when you're a child and you're imagining things, and then if you want to manifest that, then you're imagining it, and then all of a sudden you put all your emotion and everything into that imagination, and then it becomes a manifestation. So I'm trying to sort of work out how you explain the other dimension into this human experience, that people have their mind kind of thinks, oh yeah, that feels right, that sounds right. And it's so hard to talk, from here and like how you express it out. So I want to practice that. And I'm not listening to anything. Don't have to try and get other influence from anyone. Only here, 100%. Muji I listen to a little bit because he puts me in the presence, and then Sadhguru, and then Jesus comes in because I love Jesus. And so they're the only ones. You don't need to listen to anything else because we already have the information and the knowledge. But the fasting part, the physical matter stuff, you just got to clean the crap out. And that's why I want to do 180 days, Gino. And the other reason why is because I know when I do it, I will never, ever, ever, ever go back to the old paradigm that I will use food and liquids as a form of I choose. And I know it's going to happen. So 2020 is going to be brilliant.
Yeah, it's a meditation in motion when you're fasting. No matter what you're doing, you're always in that meditative state on a fast. And you can connect at any moment. Doesn't matter what you're doing. You don't need to go aside and do whatever. You're in that state. I know what you're talking about. Because that's what's, it's just, wow, man. And then we go back to food and we go, what are we doing eating? We love to eat, but what are we doing eating? The nectar of God tastes so much better.
Yeah, and I love how you said that right now you need willpower when you're eating. You need willpower to do things, whereas when you're fasting, you don't need it because you have it. It's just automatic. And it's funny because people who are eating would tell you, oh, you must have very strong willpower, when you're fasting. And it's the opposite
way around.
It's much easier than eating. I mean, there's no question.
Yeah, there's a few of us that are going to have challenges during the fast because of our lifestyles prior, genetics, and so on. But hey, you're going to get over it. It's just going to be, if you put the work in it, you're going to get over it. I have no doubt. If you have a doubt, that's your challenge, because I have no doubt. We've seen what can happen over and over and over and over and over, and I've experienced it. So the doubt is only your belief system.
Yes. Yeah.
Our monkey mind, our programming, our Luciferic intellect. The program is running. And the program is running. And I don't know if you've ever experienced, sometimes a thought goes into your head. And it's like it's your thought, but it's not your thought. And it's because it's not your thought. Because we're having thoughts are all around us all the time. And we're picking up on these. And depending on what your, I don't like to use the word vibration, what your field strength is at, you will attract similar thoughts at those field strengths. So if you're at a low field strength, you're going to attract the low field strength thoughts. If you're taking pharmaceutical drugs, you're taking in the lowest low of the low. And they're going to come in and they're going to take over in what they call possession. So we know, we have an understanding now. We don't need to know exactly what but we have an understanding of what goes on, and that's all we need to know, because now we know what to do and how to go onto the road to find balance. We clean out the shit, and everything starts clean. Everything starts correcting itself automatically. Automatic. How long is it gonna take? 1, 2, 5, 10 years? Who cares? You're living the lifestyle. This is the important thing.
Yeah, you'll feel
You're
better
living a lifestyle
from day one.
It's a never-ending process.
Yeah.
It's a lifetime commitment. It's continuously evolving. You're never going to be the same today as you were in a year from now or 2 years from now. Everything is going to continuously evolve, continuously change. There's not going to be one set thing that you're going to be doing for years and years. It doesn't happen. Look at people that have gone through all the different diets, and they're still searching because they're looking and adding something. Yes. They believe that's where it is. They're continuously changing. They go to vegetarian, to veganism, to raw foodism, fruitarianism, back to meat eating, back to raw meat meat eating. They're doing all kinds of things because they're just in confusion, because everybody told them that they're missing something, because they can't find balance. They can't find the balance. You're not gonna find it, from my experience, in anything we add. Not gonna happen. It'll be only a short-term thing. And once you stop doing it, it goes back, because it's a stimulant, no matter what it is and what diet. It's a stimulant. You want to eat 30 bananas a day? You're telling me it's not a stimulant? Eat 30 bananas. I can't even comprehend eating 30 bananas. It's impossible for me. The most I've eaten, I think, was close to 20. It's an impossibility. I can do it. I can do it. I don't know how people can do it. You'd have to force yourself. And I forced myself, and I couldn't do it. So, I'm not putting any of these things down or anything. It's roads are to bring people to different dimensions and so on and so forth. But sometimes we're going to go through all these paths, like I did myself, to get us where we are. But I see people went through so many different things, come to Master Fast, and then go back to other things. And I'm going, they missed it. They missed the boat. And some of them come back after a year because they realize, oh my God, what am I doing?
But yeah, the memory comes back. Even if you forget after the fast, it comes, you can't forget it, really.
There's many roads to whatever. But we've tried to make the road as smooth as possible, is what MFS is. And we have all the tools. We have the crew right behind us all the time with the tools. Anytime something goes wrong, we have a tool to use. So it's awesome to allow the experience to happen. But like I said, we absolutely know nothing. The more time goes on, the more experiences, the more I see we know nothing. Nothing. We're a bunch of atoms with empty spaces. We're more empty spaces than anything else. But meanwhile, we can feel and touch this thing. So how do we explain that all? It's all field strengths. That's the new understanding. It's all energy that holds us together and this illusion together. And, we're going to see more and more magic happen with this type of energetic plasmatic way of looking at things. Look what it's doing to plants and so on and so forth. And the little magic I've explained with my dad and so many others, and so on and so forth. It's just awesome to experience. My friend Giovanni in Italy, his daughter was comatose on her deathbed, multiple brain damage. Her brain was actually mush. You could see the brain x-ray before and after, and broken bones and so on and so forth. He brought her back to life with just GANS materials. And emotion and intent was behind it all. His father wanted to save his daughter's life. How did that happen? People are saying it's all bullshit. Okay, then that didn't happen in plain sight. It happened in front of our eyes. The transformation. I spent 8 months with this girl in Italy, and her boyfriend who got killed. But it's everything's possible, folks. Everything's possible. We just scratched the surface. as far as I'm concerned. We're going to see more and more magic happen as time goes on. Just embrace it all. We don't have to understand it. We allow the processes to take place, and enjoy the journey. If you're eating, enjoy it. If you're fasting, enjoy it. Enjoy it. You know, just the only thing we can recommend is keep eating minimal in your life. Because there's no diet that's the answer. This is my conclusion. Absolutely no diet. No, I don't care what food it is. The new Canadian food guide is mostly fruits and vegetables. Interesting.
They removed the dairy, right?
I'm surprised that you know, it's if you're still searching for a diet, you're gonna miss the boat. You're gonna miss the boat. The boat has no food on it. No physical food. It has a spirit of the higher realms of our Creator. That's the food that we need. The plasma love food. The love that's so missing in most of our lives. You know, so many of us are looking for controversies because being in a beautiful, peaceful, balanced state is not the norm out there. And we're continuously looking for controversies and arguments and so on and so forth, because it can't feel good all the time. There's just no way. There's got to be some controversy happening. and this people bring these things up so they can take place and they can be miserably happy instead of being in peace and bliss. And this is what I see, you know, people that just don't want to make any changes. They want to be in that poor me syndrome state and have everybody else feel sorry for them. It's just an experience for their soul to go through that. And I understand. My understanding is there's a price to pay for that in the higher order of things. We can have all the compassion. The whole planet can have compassion. Is it going to help the person change? Is my question. I posted that. Is it going to help the person change? Yes, have compassion, but is it going to help the person change? We need to have a new way of looking at things and trying to spark the soul of the person to come out of that. Empower them.
Yeah. Help them be responsible for themselves.
Right? It's very draining being around that 7 days a week. Very draining.
Yeah.
Very draining. You really need to raise your field strength when you're around that. I honor and respect all these caregivers who do this type of work. It's a tough job. It's a tough job. You know?
And for people who volunteer as well to care for their elderly parents as well, that's not an easy one. You know, at least the caregiver, for her, it's a job, and then she goes home. But the people who are, you know, caring for their parents, it's not easy. You have to be there for them.
So it was a bit of a pleasure, as always, spending our couple hours together and inspiring each other, you know, supporting each other. Very important in this type of journey, in this realm out there. We see there's things going on around the planet that seem so crazy and out of whack. Is it really happening? And then we look at the beauty of nature and the universe and things and the wonderful things people are doing. So that's where we should be focusing on. Because that other stuff, man, it's just, oh my God, is this where we're going? Oh, I can't be. No way. I don't want to be there. Let's be the change we want to see. Let's be that change and empower people to be that change. So much fun to be in bliss. So much more fun. So here we are again. Call it a close if nobody else has any last comments or questions.
I just got a question for Raz. I'm just curious. Are you fasting at the moment, Raz, or you're thinking about it, or you don't have to say anything?
Khalid, yeah, that's my cousin, by the way.
Is
Khalid?
it? Oh,
Yeah, Khalid is my cousin, and today is day 6 for him, right? He came
Yeah,
yesterday
it's my
from
fifth
Colombia.
day right now. I was doing like the hybrid for a couple of weeks before, but now I've been like full master fast for 6 days.
Awesome.
How are
Yeah.
you feeling today?
Very good. I started like a dry fast yesterday after I saw you, Rena, and then I broke it today around 3 p.m. It wasn't 24 hours, but it was my first around, I want to say like 18 hours.
Nice. Okay. Nice.
Awesome.
Good job. That's the first
Yeah.
one, right? The first
Yeah, that was my first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like listening to people doing 12, 13, 14-day drive fast 15, it seems like it's wow. It's my first 3 days, I thought I was going to die. So it's no big deal once you've committed and continue practicing and allow the process to take place. And
Yeah, like I knew if I started like lightly with it, that's why I was doing the hybrid in the beginning. I didn't just want to do it right away because
fine.
I wasn't ready.
Yeah.
And now it's so easy. Like I'm actually surprised how easy it is.
Yeah. Like,
Um,
you know, probably most people should take things at a slower step unless somebody's in a really challenged state and, you know, their body's basically shutting down. Then I would say, you know, get on 108 days. You don't have time, you know, and gain the understanding of what you need to do after 108 days when the door's open. But, you know, if you're okay, everything's fine, you got a few things happening, you know, you can take your time and, you know, go through the feeling and gain the understanding that way. I think that's the way most people should go. But, you know, there's so many people who are so sick, so many.
And the most important thing is to make it a lifestyle. And we already discussed that, right? So you're
yeah.
thinking to do 3 days of master fast, and
That's why I wanted to do this because I wanted to involve fasting as like my lifestyle. And I thought it would be good to start like with a big,
like 3
I'm not doing 108 days. Like,
you're doing 3 weeks.
Yeah, I'm planning on 3 weeks right now,
Awesome.
around 20 days. And then we'll see if I can do longer than that. My max, before I was planning on doing 40, but then I did the first 2 weeks of the hybrid. And then now I'm doing the 3 weeks of full master fast.
Yeah, you know, I just say, you know, set a number in your mind or whatever, but you know, when you come to that time, you may want to keep going.
Yeah.
You don't know, because that's what happened to me. You know, I go, I feel so good, man. I don't want to go back to food. I'm going to keep going. And came to another number, and no, I'm going to keep going. It came to another number, and that's how I went to 108 days. And because the 108,
Yeah.
I said, the 108, man, it's a magical number. I got to go to 108. And that's when I was at about 90. You know, my first goal was 40 at that time, and I ended up doing 108. But, you know, just, like I said, set something, but don't, you know, if you don't have to be stuck on these numbers. You may go longer, you may go shorter. Don't worry about it. It's all good.
And the most important thing is the lifestyle.
Yeah.
So he's thinking to do 3 days a week of master fast and 4 days of clean eating.
Yeah, I'm planning on doing 3 days, 2 days of wet, and then 24 of dry, and eating 4 days a week. Primarily, like it's gonna be mostly plant-based. Like I already cut dairy and animal products way before I started fasting. So it's primarily gonna be like a lot of. After I'm done with the 20 days or however I go, I'm planning on doing a few days, like 5 days with just fruit, and then introducing like slowly. I heard of this like like introduction method where people slowly introduce food, but like to see what they react to and whatnot.
Mhm.
And that's what I want to see, what my body's going to react to and whatnot.
Yeah, and you know, you don't want to experiment too much because you don't want to hurt yourself. But
Yeah, like,
so fruits are top, and then vegetables come after.
yeah, for sure.
And if you can, you know,
Fruits,
eliminate
greens, veggies.
the fats, and you know, you want to try to eliminate them.
Yeah, I'm planning on not cooking with like oils and stuff like that. Just probably like steaming veggies and stuff.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Great.
Yeah, it's been good. I'm loving it.
It's huge transformation already. Just 5 days, right? 5-6 days.
Yeah, like, yeah, and I feel great. Like I told Joanna the other day, I went to Whole Foods to pick up more lemons, and I walked by the hot bar, and I wasn't even tempted to like eat. I just walked. I smelled the food. I even do what Mark was saying, like just going on Instagram and like seeing recipe videos and just seeing what people cook. I just like my cravings just go away after I see what people are eating.
Mhm.
Okay.
We've all done that.
Yeah.
Watching cooking shows for hours sometimes.
Be careful because it might make you break your fast.
No.
One time I broke my fast watching, you know, preparing recipes and stuff. And I was like, oh my God, that looks so good. And the next day I found myself eating it.
Or the trick on YouTube, there's all these people that do mukbangs and they eat.
No, that's not what I watched.
Yeah, they eat like KFC or like pizza. You just watch it and you're like, what are you doing? And you just like, it turns you away from all like cravings. You're just like, I'm good, thanks.
Yeah, I used to watch a Korean girl. She's like Korean in the States, and she makes vegan Korean food. My goodness, it looks so good because she loves eating, and you know, you can tell the pleasure, you know, so you feel like you're eating with her.
Yeah, it works.
Yeah, just be careful. Don't go crazy thinking about it. Good.
Yeah, it's been good.
Awesome.
So we'll call it a close, and thank you so much, everyone. We'll see you next time. See you.
All right.
See you.
Thank you, everyone.
Ciao.
God bless you. Love you.
Ciao.
Let's keep that plasma love always flowing. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.
Keep us posted, Mark. Ciao.
Ciao.